What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of MTG Deep Dive, where in today's episode, I want to talk about everything that we know about the Samsung Galaxy S26 series, all like the rumors and leaks and things like that. Now, here's the thing. Hopefully, I will be picking these devices up, the Galaxy S26 Ultra especially, and the base S26. Now, I don't know about the S26 Plus. I've never picked up the Plus models and reviewed them. But if you do want to see like a deep dive, let me know in the comments down below. And also with these types of videos with MTG Deep Dive, you don't necessarily need to watch the video. Kind of just want to be a commentary where I'm just kind of talking in a podcast way, so you can listen to them like on your way to work or way home from work, whatever the case may be. But nonetheless, let's get right into the Galaxy S26 series. So multiple reports do suggest that Samsung is pushing Galaxy Unpacked later than usual. And the most repeated date that we're seeing is around like late February 2026, sometime in the week of like February 23rd, around that week. So we'll see, but that is a shift. And if it's true, it probably just means that Samsung is tightening production or changing something in the lineup, which we have also heard of. But I believe last year we got the S25 series in January, which this year, and I looked back at my old videos on MTG Productions. Subscribe to that channel if you haven't already. We're almost at 55,000 subscribers. And also subscribe to this channel too, as we're on our way to 1,000 subscribers. Thank you all, by the way, for everyone who subscribed. However, I looked at my previous videos in the month of January 2025, and a lot of them were Galaxy S25 content, so it does make sense. But nonetheless, as for the models, it looks like we're still going to be getting the classic three that we've been getting for a couple years now. The Samsung Galaxy S26, the S26 Plus, and the Galaxy S26 Ultra. There were early reports of S26 being rebranded to the Pro, and then we're getting the Galaxy S26 Edge and then the Ultra, but it looks like Samsung is taking a step back from that, and we're getting the classic lineup. Now, the real story every year is the chipset. So we've seen multiple reports. The most consistent one is saying that the Galaxy S26 Ultra is going to be tied to the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5. Don't mix that up. There is a Snapdragon 8 Gen 5 chipset as well as the 8 Elite Gen 5, and that's the higher end chip. And the base and Plus models may be a mix, Snapdragon chip in some regions, and then the Exynos 2600 in other regions. So we'll have to wait and see, but I do believe here in the US too, Samsung released the Z Flip 7 with an Exynos chip, and I gotta tell you, day-to-day performance has been essentially the same, really no difference. But again, I would still prefer Snapdragon over Exynos. Now, if this does happen, I don't think it's not just performance, it's also the battery efficiency, the thermals, and the camera processing that may vary. So you're not going to get the same. Let's just hypothetically, you got a Galaxy S26 Ultra, some with a Snapdragon 8 Elite chipset, 8 Gen 5, 8 Elite Gen 5, and some with the Exynos 2600. You probably won't get the same battery life. You won't get the same thermal results or the same camera results. Ever so slightly different because they're different chips in the end. But for the most part, I think they'll get the job done. Now, the reason that people care is the Ultra, this is the device that Samsung kind of wants people like myself who review and, make content to obsess over, which, by the way, I absolutely love my S25 Ultra. So it kind of makes sense that Samsung would want to go Snapdragon, kind of give them the absolute best of the best. And with the S25 Ultra, here in the US, I think this is one of the best options to have picked up in 2025. And honestly, even in 2026, it's going to be a really great buy. And what I usually do is when a successor comes out, so like when Samsung released their successor, I'll tend to trade in the predecessor for the successor. But this year, I don't know. I really like the S25 Ultra. I think I just may hold on to it just to make more content from it, but also just keep it as an extra device that, I may end up using. But nonetheless, Ultra is going to get most likely the 8 Elite Gen 5, and the regulars are probably going to, be a mixture of both Snapdragon and Exynos. Now, design change, the S26 Ultra is rumored to get a more noticeable like camera island slash bump, something that we got with the Z Fold 7. And multiple leaks do suggest that Samsung is changing the camera aesthetic, so cleaner rings and less of that stacked ring look. And we're also seeing some color rumors like black and white variants, like a blue variant, a couple of bolder options. So we'll have to wait and see. Of course, we'll get some Samsung.com exclusive colors, but for now, we're gonna have to hold on the colors. We don't know anything as of yet. And at the time of this recording, there hasn't really been any official renders of the Galaxy S26. Yes, we've gotten like CAD leaks and things like that, but no leaked official Samsung renders. So if you wanna see those, also let me know in the comments down below. But here's the thing. The most interesting part about this is the privacy display. So this actually did come out, and basically it's going to be like a built-in anti-peeping text. So the screen is going to become harder to see from side angles, but it's going to stay clear for you. So anyone looking from the side who's sitting next to you that kind of, peeps over your shoulder, they're not going to be able to see what you're doing. And I know there are those privacy, or not anti-privacy, but privacy screen protectors and things like that, but this is going to be kind of coming directly from Samsung. So for many, that is a plus. But if Samsung nails that, it's one of those features you'll never care about until you're, in the public or on a train or using banking apps or any of that sort. Then you're really going to appreciate it. And the fact that it's being tied to One UI 8.5 makes it more believable. Samsung loves shipping these quiet quality of life features, and I am really excited to check out the new display tech from Samsung. Now, before I do continue, yes, I have an Apple Watch on me, and I'm talking about Samsung devices. But the reason why I wear an Apple Watch is like I get to compete with friends, especially. So I tend to wear this every day to make sure that I don't stay behind when competing with friends and things like that. But anyway, the battery department with these devices. So battery rumors do suggest the base S26 may finally get an increase in capacity to around 4,300 milliamp hours. Yeah, it looks like we're not going to be getting silicon carbon, guys, because if we got silicon carbon, I don't think we would get a 4,300. I think we get like a 5,500 milliamp hour battery. 4,000 on the current S25, it's not cutting it. Look, we're in 2026 now. I don't think we should be having phones with batteries that don't use a silicon carbon tech. I think we should start using them. Samsung, please. The Plus model is rumored to get around 4,900 and the Ultra around like 5,000 to 5,200. And dude, Samsung, what are you doing? There's phones with 7,000, 7,400, 10,000 milliamp hours that keep the same thickness. Like, come on, please, Samsung, please adapt to the latest tech, bring in silicon carbon. Like if you threw in a 7,000 milliamp hour battery in this S25 Ultra, I would tell you this would probably sell even more. Because a lot of people like Samsung devices. A lot of people love the Galaxy S25 Ultra. But if it was top tier performer in the battery department, like the best battery in a phone, I think this would sell very well. Now, we're also hearing some changes with charging because I've talked about charging on my MTG channel for quite some time. There are rumors that Samsung may push the Ultra's charging to 60 watts wired. Finally. And if Samsung does have 60 watts wired charging on their S26 Ultra, that's going to be one of the larger updates that we've got in a while in the battery department with Samsung Ultra phones. So it's looking like the base model is going to be like, it's still going to be around the same. Plus is going to be around the same. Ultra is going to get the biggest upgrades in terms of the battery department. Now, of course, we can't, continue talking about rumors if we don't talk about the cameras, right? So camera rumors, they're all over the place right now, but there is one repeated theme, and that's Samsung is adjusting the zoom setup and improving real world processing. There's also rumors about the Ultra getting meaningful improvements around zoom behavior and low light, including aperture and processing shifts. But here's the thing, I don't think Samsung needs more megapixels. Like its main camera, its 200 megapixels is really good. You know what they need? They need consistency between lenses. When you're switching between lenses, you see the difference. Especially like, let's say you're recording video and you switch between lenses, you can see the difference. It needs better motion handling, shutter speed is not that great, and better natural detail in medium light. So honestly, if the S26 Ultra's camera changes are real, what I want is, less of the 100x marketing and more like everyday reliability. Don't get me wrong, the S25 Ultra has great results, but there's still lots of room for improvement. And I hope Samsung focuses on these small, fine details. Like 100x zoom is great, but how often are people using 100x zoom? Like the probability of me just to, open up the camera, take a photo versus me opening up the camera to take a 100x zoomed photo, like the probability of a regular photo, 99% or 99.9, I'll put it that way. And the zoom, 0.1. Like there are certain scenarios, especially if I go on vacation, that I will use zoom to take, like if I'm, sightseeing or anything like that, then I'll take a zoom photo. But other than that, like I'm not really using the 100x zoom that much. Don't get me wrong, that's also really great. I absolutely love the 100x zoom. I think it's better than Pixel's 100x, but they should market it less. They should talk about it a little bit less. Now, with the S26 Ultra and S26 Plus and the regular S26, obviously we're going to be getting Android 16 One UI 8.5, which I am currently running the beta, and I just love One UI. Like I really love what Samsung has done the past couple years. They have definitely improved it. The big change was One UI 7 with the design overhaul, the UI changes. Really do like it. One UI 8.5, the beta right now is super smooth, no issues whatsoever. I really do like it. And I think we're gonna get like the stable release around the S26 launch. And we're seeing leaks about like new AI features, things like including notification summary ideas, other assistant type functions, and we'll probably get like exclusive Galaxy S26 series AI features as well. There's, the Bixby getting smarter, but who uses Bixby? Like just use Google Gemini at that point. But I'm excited to, test out Samsung's new AI features. And here's the thing, AI is being talked about everywhere and in smartphones too. But I'll tell you that I feel like Samsung's AI features are the features that I've used the most with this whole AI stuff going on smartphones. I think it's just the most practical. Like Object Eraser, for example, is great. And also the fact that it has like the briefing that's going on. Like I love this. This is great too. Hopefully Samsung continues to improve it to, add other third-party apps into it as well. But for the most part, like it's just usable. And what I've noticed, at least in my end, that Samsung isn't like pushing and throwing the AI features in my face. They are there if I need it. If I don't want it, then I just won't use it. Apple, for example, forget Apple Intelligence. They are just pretty bad, so they have to go back to the drawing board. But Samsung, I think, has done a pretty good job with Galaxy AI, at least in my end. Now, with pricing, there are rumors that the price may go up. However, there are also rumors that that price increase may happen outside of the US. Here in the US, we may get the same US pricing. So it's looking like S26, $799 base price, S26 Plus, $999, and the S26 Ultra, $1299. And I hope they keep the same price. Now, recently, before I sat down in this video, obviously I was looking at the news, and we may see some disappointment with pre-orders. Like when you pre-order a new Samsung device, you get double the storage for the same price. Samsung may get rid of that. So like if you want to pick up 512 gig S26 Ultra on a pre-order, you may actually have to pay that extra. Rather than previous years, it was, okay, you get to double the storage during pre-order time, and that double the storage is free from us. That would be great if Samsung keeps it, but rumors are saying they might get rid of it. Who knows? I hope they don't. I hope they keep it, and I hope we get some great pre-order deals. But nonetheless, I will be checking them out when they do come out. Now, there's also the rumors of which devices actually were going to come out was like, at first it was the Pro and the Edge and Ultra. Now, lately, it's been the regular S26, the Plus, and the Ultra. But also, we've been seeing like the S26 Edge may still be in development, and it still may release, but it may have its own separate release. And I hope they keep it. I truly do, because from what I have seen is the iPhone Air was talked about more than the S25 Edge, which I think S25 Edge had less compromises. And definitely, with the compromises of the iPhone Air, S25 Edge did much better. The camera department, the battery department, I think it did much better than the iPhone Air. In fact, S25 Edge didn't really have too many compromises for what you were getting, for its thin design. The iPhone Air did. So I hope Samsung keeps it. I think it's a great device, and hopefully if they do, then I will be checking it out. I didn't get the chance to check out the S25 Edge, which I would love to. Hopefully they keep it so I get to check out its successor. But here's the thing. Should you wait? Should you buy right now? Like if you have a Galaxy S25 Ultra, obviously keep your device. Even if you have an S24 Ultra, keep your device. I don't think it's going to be a crazy, wow, I need this feature type of thing. But if you have something like, even S23 is like, S23 Ultra is like, I don't really need it. I honestly think if you have an S23 Ultra and newer, you don't need the S26 Ultra. But if you have something like S22 Ultra and obviously anything older than that, then I would probably recommend you taking a look, because you're going to see that jump in display tech, charging upgrades, camera upgrades, and just overall daily performance. But if you don't need a new phone, obviously don't get one. But my advice is watch for these things as we do get closer. Is make sure you were able to confirm like which chip is coming to which device and which region. Confirm that. The charging details, hopefully those are true with the 60 watts coming to S26 Ultra. And I know 60 watts is not the fastest charging speeds out there, but it's definitely better than 45. And I hope 45 makes its way to the base S25 or S26. I do believe the S26 or the Plus model has had 45 watts as well. Correct me down below if I am wrong. But hopefully 45 at least makes it to the base. And then the third advice I would say is watch for the camera hardware changes, because if they do bring those hardware changes as well as software changes that do affect the everyday results and just improve on them, I'd say it might be a good buy. Like still keep the same camera setup but just improve on everything else. When those three are clear, I think we'll know if Galaxy S26 is a refinement year or a real upgrade year. We can't just base everything on like how it looks, like because the CADs look as if they are very similar with small refinements. So we truly have to wait for these other things to kind of come out. Like when I looked at the Z Fold 6 and I got to check out the Z Fold 7 during Samsung's unveiling last year, at first I was like, it's not a huge upgrade, but it's bigger than a refinement, so it's like in the middle. But then as I started to use the Z Fold 7 more and more, I truly realized like, wait, the Z Fold 7 is actually an upgrade in every single way over the Z Fold 6, excluding like not having S Pen support, which majority of the people did not really care, including myself, but there were some who were like, okay, well, I'm not picking up the Z Fold 7 because I'm not having S Pen support. So in nearly every way, it did improve, and I think it was a real upgrade. So we'll see with the S26 Ultra. But that being said, I'm nonetheless really excited to check it out. Let me know in the comments down below if you are as well. In the meantime, I'm going to continue to use the S25 Ultra and S25. In fact, what I'm thinking is I'll probably trade in my Galaxy S25 for the S26 and keep the S25 Ultra as of right now. Again, we're going to have to wait a little bit more to see when it's officially going to be unveiled and released, unveiling in late February, release in early March. And then I'll kind of, come to my concrete conclusion of if I keep my S25 Ultra and just pick up the S26 Ultra, or if I end up, trading this in as well. But I don't know. I really like my S25 Ultra. Maybe it's because it's titanium black. It's the Samsung.com exclusive. Like I really do like it. I just like the box. Like it's a boxy look, but it's also like a little bit more rounded than its predecessor. This display, I don't know about this display. Like every time I use this display on the S25 Ultra, I just fall in love. Like I really like the quality on here, and we may get some improvements there with higher peak brightness as well. But stay tuned to MTG Deep Dive, as once these devices do come out, I will be going through like a thorough, detailed, just insight review, whatever you want to call it, things that won't really make it to the main channel, just me talking a little bit more about this device. Will we get S Pen support? Yeah, we will. Will it have Bluetooth? I don't know, but I hope Samsung does bring back Bluetooth support with the S Pen because a lot of people will love to have that. But nonetheless, I hope you guys did enjoy. Again, if you are watching or if you're listening, definitely be sure to subscribe, as I am working to kind of push out more videos here. At least once a week is my goal. It may be pushed out to like once every other week, but as of right now, I'm trying to do once a week. Do know MTG Productions is my main channel on YouTube, TikTok, and X and things like that. So I am more active on there. So subscribe to that channel if you haven't already. Let's make our way to 1,000 subscribers here on MTG Deep Dive, and I'll catch you all in the next episode.